Hi, it's T with TeaQuilts, and I'm actually in the process of making a t-shirt quilt, but making it out of basketball jerseys instead of regular t-shirt fabric. And I've had this job, it's a hire out job, and I've had this job for a while because I've been trying to figure out what to do about the holes in the shirt, and I'll talk about that a little later. But since I've already started working on these, I just wanted to update you as to what I have already done. Basketball jerseys have 4 sides to them. Although I'm only showing 2 here, there are 2 other sides, but I'm using that in my next step. And the reason they have 4 sides is because they have a side for home games and a side for away games. And so I had 4 layers of fabric here that I had to contend with. So I just basically took my rotary cutter through all 4 layers right along the edge and just trimmed all of these areas. And then down both sides to get these into 4 different layers. So you come out with 4 actual pieces that I can use in the quilt top when it's completed. So I had 4 of these jerseys that I've cut apart, and I have actual 16 pieces of these. The other thing that I was given was a knit jersey. Let me get that for you. So this is a knit jersey that I also received, and it is not 2-sided. I think this one was when they were in the Little League, and so it was only a 1-sided team. And I have 2 of these pieces as well. So I have actually cut all of my shirts apart, and I have started interfacing them. The type of interfacing that I normally use in my t-shirt quilts is from Pellon, and I'm just going to put the box here so you can see it. And it's Pellon EK 130, and it's $4.29 per yard, and I buy this at Joann's. And it says it's apparel interfacing. It states it's apparel interfacing specialty EK 130 easy knit fusible. It's machine wash, warm, non-chlorine bleach, tumble dry low, or dry clean. Okay. Now, the reason why I do that is because it will stabilize my regular t-shirts and keep them soft. Now on this, you probably could have used a different interfacing to make it a little stiffer, since we're dealing with since we're dealing with basketball jerseys. But this is what I had, so this is what I use. The other tip is I normally put stretch in the opposite direction, but because of how big these shirts were and I'm trying to keep a lot of the length, I decided to just go ahead and put all the stretch going in the same direction. But I would advise you to put the stretch in opposite directions because it will prevent the shirt from stretching, like if you see what I'm talking about here. As compared to here, it's not stretching as much. So what I have already done is I have set my iron down to a setting in between silk and wool. You do not want to use cotton because you're going to burn the easy knit as well as possibly burn the shirts. If I was doing t-shirt quilt, I would have the iron a little bit hotter. So it takes me a little longer to do this. So I have taken the 2 other sides of the shirts that I showed you before, and I have attached the interfacing to the parts that I'm actually going to cut. So I'll just work with this one for right now. Notice that I have I've cut my interfacing into 26-inch long pieces. I do plan to leave the shirts looking like they're jerseys, and I'm not sure yet exactly how long I want them, so I went on ahead and left them at I cut the easy knit 24 inches, but I'm planning to cut something that's around 18.5 by 24.5, and that gives me a little room for play. So I just cut all of my pieces of easy knit to that. I'm going to continue to interface these sections that I already have pre-cut, and then I will make some kind of a quilt layout, and then I will come back with my quilt layout before I start any additional cutting. So I have all of my shirts pressed to the stabilizer, the knit interfacing, and I had 2 shirts that will not fit into my overall plan, so I did not put interfacing on these 2. So instead of using 18 shirts, I'm actually using 16 shirts. So then once I had the interfacing attached to the shirts, I actually folded the shirt in half and cut off approximately 22 inches. When I was doing my shirts, and when I was doing my layout, I realized that I cannot do 24 by 18. I need to make it a little smaller so that all the shirts will fit. So what I'm doing is, instead of cutting it 19.5 inches for my finished length, I cut it just a little bit longer so I have room to play as I square up. And then once I get that part cut off, I'll go ahead and cut the width 18 inches as well. And then I took a piece of fabric, and I'm going to use different colors, but I'm just using black for this demonstration. And I put the black with the sides and this trimmed out, and then I just put a piece underneath where I needed to for my 18 inches. So I have something that looks like this. So I have a piece that's about 12 inches in length. It's overlapped by about 1 inch. And I am going to zigzag stitch these areas in the armholes and the neck to a base so that I can have a rectangle to sew into my quilt top. And then once I get this sewed on, I will just cut the length to 19.5 inches. So here is my plan. I have all of the shirts by their colors and what's on them, so I know which shirt is which. And I am going to work on getting all of these shirts zigzagged onto the stabilizing fabrics, which are going to change in color as well. And then once I do that, I will come back hopefully in next week's video with an update. So thanks for watching. Please tell your other quilty friends to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.